couple things.
And
that is Taylor Bliss with the Side Quest. We are live on the Side Quest on a beautiful Sunday evening, talking about video games and other video game stuff. I am one of your hosts, Dolly Domofsky, joined by the one, the only, the _double_ J holder.
Stop that now.
and then continue it.
Yeah. And then continue it.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. That voice you hear is the one Taylor Bliss.
Dolly, how many you been doing some DJ work lately?
Yeah.
You got your DJ voice
coming on the stage right now, Cinnamon, which is in the fireball that I'm drinking. Cinnamon. Taylor, that's gonna be your nickname, is Cinnamon Bliss.
Wonderful.
Like that.
Perfect.
And above me, the one taking that swig, the good man, Aaron Scratty Bones Kelly.
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing? I missed last week.
Don't worry, everybody did.
Everyone did.
I was the only one.
Great.
Were you the only one? Did you run solo?
I went solo, yeah. It was actually fun because I got through it in like 20 minutes.
I was gonna say what's been the longest
zero
show?
complaints. Zero complaints.
I thought every time you had to do a solo show, you pulled your kid in to talk about Among Us.
I was going to. I think she did come in for like a quick second. She may have at the very beginning. I don't quite remember for sure, but yeah, it's all good. It's all good. How you guys doing?
Doing fine.
I see an I'm doing fine. Doing all right.
I got so I'm sitting at work.
No, you're at home right now, actually.
Right now. No, tail end of last week I'm sitting at work. And the owner comes over and he goes, "We got to do something to shake things up." I'm like, okay, because every
no
time
more pants.
Every time I've ever heard that phrase has never led to good things. So I'm like, all right, what are you thinking about? He's like, we're going to take you and put you in my other store where you don't know anything about it. And you're going to run that store. And we're going to take the person who works in that store and put them in your store. And you're going to get more hours. So it'll be fine. And I said, all right, because fuck it.
How far is that store from where you currently
are? They're attached.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's literally next door. It's just, I don't know anything about, like, it's a nicotine vape store. And I use one, and that is the extent of my knowledge. Like, I don't understand anything about different tanks
what's the current store that you're doing?
I run a bong store. This guy hired me to build him a bong store.
And by bong
store,
you mean glass memorabilia.
Yeah, well, no, it's legal. It's legal up here.
Yeah, the mask is off these days. They don't have to call them head shops anymore.
We're not selling artisanal vases anymore. No, but anyway, so I've been working in this bong store for almost 4 years, and I've never worked in the vaporizer store. And he goes, "We're going to switch it up, and you'll get more hours, and you still have to close the other store, but you're going to work over here because it closes earlier." And I'm like, all right, I guess. So all last week was me in that store not knowing what the fuck I was doing, and then also my shifts didn't get extended, so I'm not getting more hours.
Oh no!
You're working your way into a Clerks scenario.
Oh, we're there. We're there.
Say, it sounds like we're already there.
Yeah. Trust me, we're there. It's fucking insanity. But anyway, that's been my week.
Very good. That's fun. It's you're also on like lockdown over there. Isn't your area on lockdown?
Yeah, we had it down. We had our province. So when the outbreak got really bad last year, the Maritimes, which is the collection of Atlantic-facing provinces, like mine and New Brunswick and PEI and Newfoundland, all said, okay, we're going to close our borders to everybody except each other. And we're going to do a lockdown. It's going to go for like 2 months. And then we're going to get the number of cases down. And then even after that happens, we're going to keep our borders closed to everybody except us. And that worked out really well. My province was down to like 5 cases a day, maybe.
What's the population of your province?
It's over 1 million.
7 people.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's just 1.5 million, maybe.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's not small. It's very rural, so I mean that certainly helps.
True. They're spread out.
Yeah.
But the majority of our population is in Halifax, our capital, and even with that, we were still down to like no cases a day. It was great. And then New Brunswick, which is the province that is between us and the rest of the country, said
right next to Maine for the United States.
Yeah, right up from Maine. They said we're not going to do the bubble thing anymore. We're going to open our borders because we've got a handle on this. And all of a sudden, their cases fucking jumped. And then the rest, like Nova Scotia, was like, "No, that seems like a pretty good idea. We're going to do it too." And then all of a sudden, we started getting people from Ontario, like Middle Canada, coming down. And Ontario hasn't had a handle on the virus at all. Their cases are constantly skyrocketing. They've got fucking like mass graves and shit going on up there. Like,
Ontario is the Ohio of Canada.
Yeah, so they started coming down here, and then that our cases started climbing, and then all of a sudden, there was like this big community event, which is code word for somebody threw a party and invited somebody from Ontario, and one of them had COVID, and then they all went back to school, and now we've never had more than 100 cases per day. We've never crossed that, and yesterday we had like 160 cases.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're on full lockdown again.
We have we were hitting 9,000 to 10,000 cases a day in the state of Michigan here, just a couple weeks ago. But we've knocked that down to just over 3,000. So we've recovered, fully recovered, totally. Let's go.
Here's the fun part. Here's the fun part. So when our cases were still low, that was when like the vaccine started coming out. And so the province, the provincial government, they said, all right, here's the rollout plan. The most at-risk age groups are the elderly, like, because they're going to get sick anyway. Their immune systems are starting to run down. We're going to start vaccinating the 65 and up, and then we're going to slowly start putting it like down, like opening up a new age bracket as we get more vaccines. Then this happened. And now all of a sudden, over half of all cases in the province are my age group, and we're not eligible for the vaccine, even though we're still.
Seems to be the case everywhere, because Michigan's the same thing. The majority of cases are like people that weren't eligible until like a week ago. Yeah,
I think that might have something with this vaccine thing going on.
Yeah, probably, but yeah, it's like, the people in my group or my age group are the most likely people to be working in stores that are deemed essential, and we can't get the vaccine. So
it's wild.
Yeah, and I just checked 133 new cases of COVID in my province today. So good times.
Yeah.
Really not expecting the lockdown to lift when they said it will.
How many couple weeks is it?
It was supposed to be 2 weeks. We were gonna run past Mother's Day and miss being open for Mother's Day by like a day. But I've got money on
March 2020. I packed up my desk for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Everybody did.
I never made it back to that job. So
I think all of us did. Yep.
But so that's it's life here. And I don't even know if I can get the vaccine. That's the best part.
Why?
Because
I had sarcoidosis or have sarcoidosis, which means my immune system. And my immune system's fucked, and I don't know if there's enough literature on the weird ass rare disease I have to even get the vaccine.
No shit.
So I might just have to wait on everybody else getting it so I can profit deliciously from herd immunity.
I was actually listening to a podcast, speaking of herd immunity, about it's the Anthropocene Review. I don't know if you guys have ever listened. It's a fantastic podcast. A dude, like, I forget the name of the writer. He's like a super well-known writer. But he reviews like two completely mundane things, like the opening sequence to Penguins of Madagascar was the first review that he did. And then the second thing was the smallpox vaccine. And it sent me down a 4-hour rabbit hole on Friday night, looking up the origins of vaccines and how people used to like splice their skin open and squeeze like cow pus in there. And
just rub it in.
Yeah.
Rub it in. So there you go, Aaron, if you need to. Yeah.
Yeah, back before syringes, that's what they would do. They'd slice your arm open, put the little component they had, and rub it all up in that wound. Great times.
Look, man, if you get sick, we're just going to cut you open along the meridians of your body and let the humors out. That's no big deal.
There you go. Let them out. So this is a great way to start the podcast.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
I want my beer.
Your beer?
I'm so irritated.
You got the Timmy hose going there, so that's a good sign. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Let's get into some news. You said there was minimal news, and there was.
Yeah.
If you like a bajillion mergers and acquisitions over the week, I think
which
that was
I
the
don't.
majority of it. Yeah.
Which I don't.
No, but I'll talk about them.
You can talk about those.
You'll talk about it.
I'll run through what I got. Just quick little things here. E3 2021 has announced their hosts for their digital events. It's Greg Miller, Jackie Jang, and Golden Boy.
Yeah.
So all of those are pretty big, influential names. I mean, I'm sure they're going to do a fine job. I don't know how they're going to do. Are they going to pre-record all their shit? Like
probably. I'm sure.
Assume so, yeah.
I mean, do you guys remember Greg Miller? Like 2 years ago, was actually banned from E3. Like 2018, I think it was, or 2019 was actually banned.
But for like 12 hours.
Yeah.
Somebody, so in case you didn't hear about it, somebody, if I remember correctly, somebody was using like a fake pass or a stolen pass that was under his name.
Yeah.
And so when they closed the pass down, they thought that he had given it to whoever it was or something like that.
Yeah.
It was the thing for like half a day. Also, speaking of E3, Konami not going to be there. Noted incredibly busy video game developer Konami has released a statement saying, due to the timing, we will not be ready.
Timing.
Yeah, we will not be ready to present at E3 this year.
Yeah, it snuck right up on them. They didn't have anything prepared for last year. They don't have anything for this year. Just
yeah.
Oops. Yeah. Right. I mean, all those pachinko machines.
Well, I mean, pachinko machines are big money. Except they're probably not right now because of COVID.
Probably. I wouldn't touch one. Yeah.
Japan right now not doing so hot. So
yeah,
I blame
Mario
Konami.
World is shut down over there.
I blame Konami. It's all the pachinko machines.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, crazy. I'm curious to see what E3 is like this year. I am really interested to see because it feels like these
are the hosts for like the E3 content, right?
Yes, E3 content. Right.
I mean, I don't. Maybe I'm just going to speak for myself here, but like, I've never really watched it for any of the content other than
the games,
publisher driven, presentations typically.
Yep.
So
it's kind of like what Keeley was doing on YouTube.
Yeah.
They're doing the Keeley. Their official statement.
We're called the Keeley.
The official statement is like a paragraph. E3 has officially enlisted a trio of well-known video game industry personalities to host the all-virtual global event taking place Saturday, June 12th through Tuesday, June 15th. Greg Miller, Jackie Jang, and Alex Golden Boy Mendez will guide the 4-day broadcast, providing expert-level commentary, publisher and developer interviews, and much more. And that's it.
Much more.
That's it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right.
E3 is going to be weird, but E3 was weird last year too. So,
because there wasn't one.
No. Hey Taylor, you remember like a month ago when we were talking about Control, and I was talking about how weird it was that you could buy the Ultimate Edition for like $8, but the regular edition was like still like $30.
Yeah.
505 Games took away the regular edition.
Is it gone now?
Yeah, so you can only buy the Ultimate Edition on Steam.
I'm going to look at this right now.
Oh god.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now instead it has Control Ultimate Edition plus Alan Wake franchise bundle.
Yep.
Wait, didn't they pull Alan Wake from Steam at one point and give it away for free because they lost the licensing rights to some of the music in it?
Something like that. I think it was American Nightmare, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, but all three of them are now like it's Alan Wake, the Collector's Edition extras, and American Nightmare are all in this bundle.
Weird.
I wonder if they found a way to.
They might have patched it to take the music out.
Yeah, or patched some whatever that stuff was. Okay, anyway, interesting. But yeah, no, that makes much more sense. And Ultimate Edition is a good ass. That was a great game.
And now I can't make fun of it.
The next Alan Wake game will be Epic Games Epic Store exclusive, so that'll be good, right?
I mean, that's not confirmed yet, is it, Dolly?
No, it's not confirmed yet.
Okay.
Are you saying you don't? Are you saying you don't trust Jeff Grubb? Is that what you're telling us?
Listen, I'm just saying that the people treat Dolly as the an arbiter of truth around here. We can't just
when they know I lie through my teeth. I mean, come on.
I will take the hit and go on record. I don't trust Jeff Grubb.
I wouldn't.
I think he's planning something, and I don't want to know or be a part of any of those plans.
The game mess is just a big front. That's all it is.
If you
He's laundering money or
gamers-
something.
Yeah, exactly. If you descramble the words Jeff Grubb's summer game mess, it spells kill Gabe and
Don't
and
say
Reggie,
that out
which is just so
loud.
bizarre. No,
Kill
I'm just
Gabe
kidding.
and a whole bunch of
Can't
other
say
letters.
that out loud.
So
It seems like every week I say something absolutely stupid, then I have to edit it out of the podcast.
So back when I was playing a bunch of battle royale games like PUBG and like Apex and stuff like that, right when everybody was going, hey, we got one of those too, you should check it out, we're working on one of those too, sign up for the alpha right
Sign
now.
up.
So I signed up for a bunch of those alphas, and then I sort of fell out of the genre, but I keep getting emails from like the companies that didn't just drop them.
Oh man.
So I've been getting emails from one called Scavengers.
Huh.
And apparently it's out or playable or something like that.
It was tied to Twitch drops for like
Oh, really?
most of last week, and I don't know, either it was doing well enough or I'm not sure exactly the reason for it, but then they basically opened it up.
Yeah, so the like I don't think that specifically is newsworthy. However, there was a news article on PC Gamer. Apparently that game supports like 10,000 players at the same time on the same map.
Wow.
And they showcase that off by having 9,000 players at the same time on the same map.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's I just thought I'd throw that in there because like could you imagine PUBG with 9,000 people at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind that Scavengers is not exactly a PUBG. I mean, it has battle royale elements, but it is primarily player versus PvE focused.
Here, I'm posting the video here for us to watch.
Of what I watched of it.
I mean, yeah, but then again, Fortnite.
It's still cool.
Fortnite was a Minecraft game, and now it's just a battle royale game.
Yeah,
so.
but Fortnite was always a 100-person battle royale map. I mean, Scavengers is just. I'm just saying that Scavengers is not. 9,000 people on the same map all fighting each other. There's other PvE objectives that are the primary focus.
Sure.
That's all. I'm informing our viewers here. That's all.
I don't have faith in
There
our
they
viewers.
go.
I think they're gonna let that wash right over their head. All they're gonna hear is 9,000 person battle royal.
Yeah, we did it.
But I mean, to be fair, even if it is mostly a PvE oriented game, 9,000 players or more on the same map is still kind of wild. Like I think, I don't think a game has ever really tried numbers that big before. Like, Squad has 200 people?
Mag was around 200. You guys remember
Mag was 255, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
But, yeah. So anyway, that's a game that exists, and it looks
It's a battle royale.
based on this trailer, it looks very Fortnite-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bright colors.
Out fight. Yeah. Oh, look, there's like ramps and stuff you can build. Interesting.
Can't build it. Stop it. You cannot compare this to Fortnite.
I'm doing it right now. I saw a green shotgun.
I'm calling it. But there's snow in this one, which is kind of cool.
I'm losing it.
I mean, I just saw a spaceship land, and I
Scavengers.
definitely saw a spaceship in Fortnite when I played it that one time
Yeah. I mean, Thanos was
during the Star Wars event.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so. Anyway, just that game seems like maybe something worth looking into. I got one other piece of news. Out of all of the things that I could have picked, I picked one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
You guys hear about that fucking price on the Quest 2 and that whole kerfluffle?
No.
No.
So the Quest 2, everybody's pissed at the Quest 2 because they're owned by Facebook, and you have to have a Facebook account. And then somebody figured out that there's a version of the headset you can buy that doesn't require a Facebook account, but it costs $500 more because it's a business headset. And then after a year, there's a $180 subscription fee. So the only way to not sell your data to Facebook if you want to use the Quest in their store is the business one, and then you have to pay a massive subscription fee because that's what they charge businesses. Or you get it for $300, but you have to have a Facebook account, and Facebook harvests your data
And your soul.
and your soul.
And your organs, it seems like it too.
I feel like if that was a big problem for you, you could just bullshit your way through a Facebook account.
Yep. The shitty part is that you'd lose all the games if you have to migrate to a different Facebook account.
Not just that, but if Facebook, for whatever, if they take a huge issue and always historically have. If they detect that you have created a duplicate account, they will
if you're
not hesitate to
Yeah.
absolutely scorch earth, burn it to the
if your
ground.
biggest problem is like linking your Facebook account, that's the reason you haven't gotten the Quest 2, then you don't have a Facebook account, so they don't have to worry about a duplicate.
I mean, the other problem is that, like, let's say hypothetically you didn't like the idea of it, and so you linked it to another account, and they may have changed this, but the last time I looked into this, it was the case that if you linked it to a Facebook account, and then that account was compromised for some reason, or you lost access to it, or they banned it, the device, they essentially shut it down. Like, you no longer could use that device.
Or sell it.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
It's locked to that Facebook account.
It's like the what the hell do they call that? Because there's the 2 tiers of Xbox ban. You get the account ban and the console ban. It's like the same way. They ban the headset, not necessarily the account, depending on what the situation is. But
so it's just not a good look. I mean, especially, I mean, obviously there's a ton of drama around it because of early statements made by Carmack and during the early days when Oculus first sold to Facebook, and they're like, "Don't worry, guys, this is so that we could have the backing and the technology to be able to expand this, and it's never going to be part of it." And then, of course, they everybody left from the original Oculus, and now
it doesn't help that everybody hates Palmer Luckey.
Right, exactly.
Oh yeah,
that is. Yep. I mean, he hasn't exactly made it particularly difficult recently.
No. Yeah, I have a Vive, and I've yet to unpack it. I bought the fucking thing, and I just don't have the space to unpack it, which is the only reason I would consider a Quest 2, because you don't need to you just put it on your head and have the controllers.
Yeah, they just launched AirLink, which I was testing.
Oh
out,
yeah, yep.
And
okay.
That works.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it with my laptop, and that works fine. I'm actually kind of surprised at how well the AirLink works. I mean, I know people had already been doing it. You've been having the community working hard on that kind of stuff, but to have sort of the official support and not needing the USB-C cable to plug in to get Oculus Rift shit running on your Quest is pretty cool now. So
apparently Palmer Luckey works for a company that's contracted to the U.S. Air Force now. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, sure. Okay. I don't know why I felt the need to look him up. That's all the news I got. That's what I got. There's no more news, and you can't convince me there is.
Well, I've got I don't know.
I was going to say
there's a little bit of merger news. Did anyone else want to hop into some news real quick?
No.
I didn't have anything else.
No, Epic bought ArtStation, so that was kind of cool.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
Did you guys talk about them doing the partnership with itch.io?
No. I mean, did you guys? You mean me last week by myself saying that?
I was trying to not harp on it, Dally.
Go ahead, tell me about it. What do you think about it?
I think that it is going to. I don't know. I think itch is one of those things that I feel generationally left out of, but is a huge, much
generationally,
yeah, that's a word. But is a much bigger deal than I can give it credit for, just because it's out of my vision. But I'm just trying to make sure that I try and keep it in mind as something that is clearly extremely just valuable to the newer generation of people that are coming into games. And I think that whoever was there at Epic recognized that, and they picked it up, and I think that's it's big for itch, and I think it's going to be an important kind of differentiating factor for at the Epic Store too.
Yeah, so. The ArtStation thing is weird because ArtStation is almost like a resume repository. Like a lot of artists, like there's plenty of places on the internet where you can put your art. And ArtStation very much seems like the one where if you're a serious artist looking to get into an art-related job, that's where your resume is. Now, if Epic owns this, is that going to bias other companies, I guess, in the same industry as Epic?
So, Adobe bought this website called Behance.net. Behance was great for like 2D design and posting images and stuff up there for designers. Adobe came in, the Photoshop guys came in, bought Behance.
Photoshop guys.
Yeah, and they don't do anything else.
Yeah.
No, they bought Behance. I believe they bought Behance, and made that community linked to Photoshop, linked to Adobe. And kind of what's happened there is you suddenly have a huge community that can still kind of do their own thing, but now Adobe really does have a showcase for emphasizing like, oh, by the way, these were done with Adobe products, and check out some of the cool stuff that Adobe does. I feel like there really isn't a like 3D repository out there, the stuff you can create with Unreal Engine and some of that stuff. And I think Itch is kind of like that, although Itch is just sort of like an app. It's not really bought by Epic.
Yeah.
It's just sort of an app on there. And it's kind of cool. Itch is sort of like
Right.
what do they call it? The sound
Of music.
The sound of music. No, what's that?
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud of music. Thank you. Holy, the alcohol show coming in here. No, it's a SoundCloud of games. In that people can kind of post, some projects they're working on. They can post
Right.
short games, bigger games. It's huge with indies, huge with like bundles. Like I support a lot of Itch stuff, and it's really cool for that reason. And I think it's great that you can kind of access it. Yet another way to access it is through the Epic Game Store with payments all tied up. But I think the ArtStation one is actually really important from Epic side because now they have a whole place where they can really start to focus. They can start to say, you guys can continue posting cool 2D art, and maybe you'll figure out ways to use that art if you want to get into Unreal game development. We'll link it into your ArtStation account. Now you can all of a sudden you can start pulling those assets right into games using Unreal Engine or into the Epic Game Store. So I think there is, and it's also a great showcase for them to say, hey, check out all the cool projects that people are making using Unreal Engine, and with a whole other tab in ArtStation or something with 3D assets and things like that. I think it's actually a pretty good pickup for them.
Does Epic have something in the same way that Unity does, where they have because Unity has a whole marketplace?
Yeah, I don't think Epic's
assets.
is nearly as big. Unity's is much, much bigger from what I've seen, and so
Right,
this
when I-
is
when I-
yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm wondering. Is that is
Yep.
this going to be an effort to bolster up that side of things?
I think so.
Especially with UR5
Totally.
eventually coming out, and they want people to be kind of fast track people being able to utilize it.
I think so. I wouldn't be surprised if Epic goes after like Fiverr, which is that real quick, super quick game, development portfolio stuff site for freelancers where you can spend like $5 and get a dumb logo made. But I would not be surprised if Epic goes after something like that, or creates their own based on that type of thing. Yeah.
Or maybe they'll hire somebody from their newly acquired ArtStation to redesign their store, because right now they do have an Unreal marketplace that you can get to through the Epic Games launcher, but it's buried buried in the Unreal Engine tab.
Yeah.
Which, if you're not interested in, why would you ever think to click that if you're not looking to install Unreal Engine? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't say like Unreal Engine Store or anything. It's just a tab that says Unreal Engine, and then in there is a marketplace tab.
Well, final bit, just since we're talking about already, they also are dropping the fees.
Oh yeah.
On it. Base fee on it was 30% previously. They're dropping it to 12%.
That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome.
That's a massive decrease.
Because
increase for artists.
Here's the wild thing for me now, because I've been looking for. I do a lot of digital art. I do a lot of like car drawings and car art and just like illustrations just on the side. And I've been looking for places to sell my work. And all my artist buddies, everybody in the industry, female, male, says use ArtStation, because ArtStation is the best place to show off and to sell your work. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to do it. I'm going to sell my work now on ArtStation. And now, because I write about games and I'm potentially going to be using a game company owned thing to sell my work, I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm like tangential. There's like this weird gray area now.
There was an area, there was an overlap that you weren't expecting to actually
that I totally wasn't expecting. And now I'm like, well, great. I got to go to Cafe Press now.
DeviantArt.
Oh, yeah, shit.
DeviantArt. I wouldn't be surprised if they're bought by someone, but yeah.
But yeah, it's
A good pickup.
dropping as low for. I haven't like fully investigated what these are, but for the exact wording is for pro members, the fee reduces from 20% to 8% and 5% for self-promoted sales. So, but you know, that's Epic did very similar things when they opened the game store in the first place. You know, they tried, or not right when they first opened, but they tried to make it a very big differentiating factor for them to compete against Steam. And I'll segue that into a different news story that I figured.
Well, real quick, just here is the ArtStation tab, which is great for, you know, hey, check it out. I can check out some cool sketches. Awesome. I like it. I can add it to my digital collection. I can buy this stuff. I want to buy it. You go to the marketplace tab here and look what it's listed at. It's like game dev. Start selling on the marketplace. You could do ZBrush stuff. You can do figure drawing references. They have like classes in here. There's jobs. There's blogs. There's all. I mean, it's the kind of stuff that I think it's perfect for Epic. I think this is
it's the kind of stuff that you want associated with a company that wants to support itself with an engine.
Yep, exactly. By the way, this I almost clicked on this because I thought it was a butt with a thong. I don't know why. It's really bizarre. Anyways, yeah, great pickup for Epic. What else you got?
The other thing I was just going to mention was the announcement from Microsoft Store dropping their their cut on PC game sales to match Epic's at 12% as well. Just since we're talking about 12%. And so they did that like midweek, I think.
And they had to come out and admit that they're not doing that for consoles.
Right, yeah.
I mean, nobody else is, and
so
I think that one's a little. Microsoft is currently in a great state where they don't sell enough stuff on PC where it really doesn't matter for them.
Yeah.
You know, when 95% of all PC installs are happening because of Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah.
You don't really care if you drop it to 12% because you're not making any revenue for it. But what it does do is make for a great headline and for some great PR. So you might as well do it. You know, there was numbers floating around on graphs of where people are still making their sales. Epic Games actually did show up on that graph a little bit better than I expected it to. But, you know, it's still like blown away. You know, Steam is obviously still on top for very obvious reasons. Although Humble was also well represented. But that also could be because there's a lot, you know, Humble made a really big push for their Humble published games. So we don't know, you know, who answered that survey, were they Humble published or what. So,
they're capping the amount that you can give to.
Yeah, I mean, Humble made a bunch of changes in the past 2 weeks up to their stuff, didn't they?
Yep. Yeah, they're capping the amount you can give to
charity at like 50%.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, you know,
for me, I would always slide that slider goes all the way across
to
charity, and I'm like, okay, Humble gets like 2%, and then
you know, it's weird because, you know, Humble was like this very weird new thing when they first did the bundles, and even like the first like 3 to 5 bundles, and it's just not, you know, it's a totally different beast.
Yeah,
you know, it's a company, it's a studio, it's a publisher.
Back when it first got its start, it was just like, here's a bunch of keys that we got from these developers that we're doing for charity, and now it's like, oh, we're a store and a publisher now. We've got 8 different bundles going at any given time.
I like their early work better. They haven't been the same since they sold out.
Yeah. Well played.
Thank you. Actually, I mean, I say that, but one of the most useful things that I ever got from Humble Bundle was before they sold, and it was one of their bundles with Vegas Pro in it.
And
they have a bundle up right now with the newest Vegas Pro in it, and it's just like, well, if they're still doing shit like that,
well, they do like textbooks and stuff too, which is like
if you want to learn C++ and JavaScript, it's like perfect. I get their I actually get their art stuff a lot. I see the one with Vegas Pro, which I don't necessarily need, but I'll I might go after that because I don't have anything to edit video on my PC. But I do look at the like I get the Corel Painter and some of the other stuff. I get their bundle every year. I'll flip the $25 or $30, whatever it is. It's cheaper than the actual software to get. So, but yeah.
I will say I talked to a surprising number of my people that I know are like, the ton of them are Humble Bundles, like the subscription model that they put in. A lot of people do it.
I hear that. I hear that too.
More than I would have expected. So just a little anecdote.
Nice.
I was just now looking through my email. I'm like, all right, how many Humble Bundle emails do I have?
I have a billion. You open the Humble Bundle webpage up. It's like, here are your keys. This bundle is purchased. This bundle is purchased.
Yeah.
I'm like, I probably have about 1,000 games. Probably as many games on Humble Bundle, or double the amount of games on Humble Bundle that I have on Steam. Yet I probably own all those games already on Steam. They just keep showing up in bundles. Love
the comic books. Every time they do a comic book bundle, it's always great.
Same here.
They got the heavy metal one right now, and that's
I will not be surprised if we get an Invincible. That would be awesome to get like a Robert Kirkman.
They've done it before.
They've done it before. Get another one out now.
Hey, look at that! I was literally just scrolling through Invincible Volume 1.
Nice.
I literally have it in my thing. Yeah. Okay, very cool. But no, that's all I got on.
I had one more. This is the time of day when Aaron usually zones out. I mentioned Nintendo. No, this is the Nikkei note went out today. The article that Nintendo's are basically ramping up Switch output. He's gone. Switch output to 30 million for this financial year. 30 million consoles, which is pretty.
Or the Switch.
How many of the Switch? Apparently, the quote that I'm seeing float around is several officials admitted to us that they're considering expanding production. Companies also expected to add a higher end model. We call it the Switch over at SideQuest, with higher image quality. This will be the first additional model of the Switch since the Nintendo Switch Lite, which was released in September and made it to more. So they're calling this an additional model, which continues, what we keep hearing, which is you're going to have the Switch Lite, which is kind of the cheapo version. Then you're going to have the Switch, just like the current one that's out now, maybe slightly better battery or something. But then you'll have like the Switch Pro Plus Switch, whatever it's going to be. That's the higher end one to get people who have already paid for the original Switch, but want to get the better quality and really want to go that High Life, the Miller High Life, to bump up to that next level. But
in generation upgrade.
I have a suggestion.
What's that?
Every time they put a new model of the Switch out, we have to add another eye to it. So this new one coming out is the Switch with 2 eyes, and then the one after that will be the Switch with 3 eyes.
Actually, since there was a Switch Lite, this will be the Switch with 3 eyes, right? We could do that. Yeah. That's it.
Unless we count the Switch Lite as a downgrade, in which case we have to take the eye out. So it's just the SWTCH Switch.
The old Twitter days when it was just TWTR, or TWTTR.
That's inevitably it's just going to get to like the iPhone 12. How there's like 5 different versions of the iPhone 12 you can get.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be the same thing. Like every couple of years, they'll be like, all right, we've got the new Switch Lite, we've got the new Switch Pro, we've got the new Switch.
I can see them, and that's actually not a bad way to do it, to
considering
for Nintendo to push it.
Yeah. Considering it's running off of cell phone hardware anyways.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Yeah. Just keep pumping it out with the better chip.
So there is technically one tiny little piece of news left. I forgot to throw in. This is a tweet from Jeff Keighley from 6 hours ago.
The other Jeff.
The Epic Games trial, Apple versus Epic, is happening tomorrow. Starts at 8:30 a.m. Pacific.
God, I'm gonna have to keep my eyes glued to Twitter tomorrow.
It'll be some fun stuff since we follow people that work at Epic and a lot of Apple fanboys. So it'll be a good time.
Yeah,
it'll be a good time. Good. All right, let's talk about what games we've been playing. I always go last, and I'm gonna go fucking first this time. I'm not gonna talk about the one RPG.
Holy shit!
I am gonna talk about something that I know Taylor's been trying. Taylor's been doing it on his PC. I've been doing it on my iPhone, and that's the Xbox streaming.
Oh yeah.
You guys.
Have you tried that, Taylor?
I booted something up just to test latency, and it felt better to me than it did on Android.
Okay, all right.
So, I'm still thoroughly impressed. The only other one that I've significantly used was when before Stadia was Stadia. I was in the beta for when they did Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
through their test, and that was pretty good. This is I'm just amazed by what Microsoft was doing for their Xbox tech and cloud streaming. It's really good.
So this is it on mobile, right? So it's just a web app, and it uses the Rainway tech. Sorry for the glare. There you go. You can see the games that I've been playing. Banjo-Kazooie gave that hot game a try.
Literally, the first thing I saw was like, all right, I'm booting up Viva Pinata.
Yeah, it was essentially that. Yeah. I tried a few games in touch mode, a few games in with controller. Having some issues with the controller. I had thanks to the new iOS update though, I was able to get the PS5 controller working. The PS4 controller is supposed to work, but it keeps disconnecting. Because I have a launch PS4 triplet, whatever, quadruple shock, whatever that was. But apparently the PS5 controller, I didn't have any issues, but then I have to resync it to PS5 afterwards. So I have to buy a new controller. Anyways, really smooth interface. I'm digging the interface. Latency wasn't bad. I gotta say it wasn't bad. I mean, I was on, I had on Wi-Fi, and then I tried it also on the just on the 5G network, but it could be T-Mobile having some issues on that though. But yeah, I tried out Banjo. I tried out. I wanted to start with kind of like easier tests, so Banjo-Kazooie, Double Dragon Neon, Minecraft Dungeons, and then I went into Aceto Corsa, which is a car racing game. Surprised that it functioned as well as it did. So yeah, cool. Kudos to that. It's still not like playing a game that's on your actual device. It's not there.
Yeah, the problem is that if you play a lot of games, especially on, it's the same way. Like if you were sitting there and you've been playing Xbox One or Xbox Series X, and then you're like, all right, great, this has been wonderful. I'm gonna go now play it on my phone or stream it. Like, it's clear.
It really is.
I've got gig service, and like it still chops as it loads in the first images and stuff like that. So I am very, very excited that they're doing it now, and that it's kind of it's just slow rolling out. So excited to see where it goes though.
So I'm gonna go from something that's hardware less in that streaming thing to something that's hardware based. We got a piece of hardware to review here at SideQuesting Home Base. You guys are ready for this? You ready for this? We got lean in, children, literally children, because we got the My First Sketch tablet to review. I'm not even kidding. We got the Sketch tablet to review, and it's essentially like an e-ink tablet. So it's not like you're actually drawing.
So it's like the Wacom answer to an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yes, but it works. It really is. Yeah. So here I'm gonna
that old thing, like the gray sheet that you wrote on, then you pull the sheet up and the disappears.
Like what you see there is literally how bright it is on this screen.
Wow.
Which is not. I think that's my biggest.
What's the name of this company that makes
My First? It's Oaxis. Oaxis, I think is the name of the company. Oaxis. It's the My First. It's got like some built-in storage, and it's a really. So here, let me do the good and the bad. I'll start with the bad first. It's not the best built product. This thing's, I think it's retailing for like $100 or so in this version. It's kind of cheaply put together because there's like some inconsistencies in the gaps around this thing, and I stick my fingernail in there all the time. And it doesn't like. I'll hit the erase button and it's not erasing. You're supposed to double tap to erase. That's because you have to have the pen, which is a USB pen, chargeable near the screen, and then double tap. Well, it's still not doing it. So I'll sketch, double tap. Nope, not doing it. Son of a bitch. Then I realize, oh shit, it's because it's not on. Because Dolly is dumb, turns it on. There you go. Now the green light is on. And now I'll turn it off. Now it'll work. There you go. It did it. Yeah. So you can't tell that it's on or off. And I don't know why there is. You have to forcefully turn this thing on, but whatever. But it's not like Here, that's how I sketch in real life. You can't see it. It should be better.
Can you
but-
like is it just the device? Like, does it have a USB port? Can you export your
So-
sketches?
Here's what. Yes. It is. It's actually that's the cool part. So first and foremost, I've actually been using it. My daughter was using it. It's a kid's sketch tablet, so it's definitely not for adults. You can rest your palm on there. Actually, if I use my thumb, I get wider.
I'm looking at marketing material. It's like literally unleash your child's creativity.
Yeah.
It's for kids, right? So, but you can actually write notes on there. So I can, it's not that bad. I just wish that it was darker, or it was brighter. But that's what you get with this type of thing. But what you can do is you can link it to your phone or your tablet and almost use it. So here it is, right here. Right? I got my device here, not on your phone album. Okay, blah blah blah. You click on the real time. The app's not very good. Okay, it's scanning. It's connected. Okay, so now you can see. I'll hold this up real quick. I know it's shitty, but
Draw a dick.
That's a bad dick. That's close to. There we go.
Yeah.
there you go. You gotta draw
it
that
does
here.
it like right away.
Yeah, that's
It does.
that's
And
honestly
that's
not
actually
that's not that
really
bad.
cool.
Yeah.
That's actually really
pretty
cool. And so I would have that up, on the screen there. I'm actually staring at that screen and doing my drawings because you can actually see the cursor show up on the screen there as you're sketching. So I'm like, oops, you can change the sizes. That's where things are really cool because I was drawing cars. I mean, I have a giant tablet that you saw see me drawing, but that's where it's really cool. And I do wish that this thing can link up to other drawing software or to your PC. If this thing could link to your PC, then this is I would recommend this to everybody.
I mean, that could be the answer to, if it could do that, to like Jackbox games.
Totally on PC. Exactly.
God.
Yep. And so yeah, it's cool. You can get some like sketching done. It's the issue isn't necessarily this because it is what it is. It's kind of chintzy and cheap. It's just the app is not very great, but the real-time drawing it's Bluetooth. It's really kind of astounding at how cool it is. So I can kind of see my daughter. It's going to be perfect for her. She was messing around with it. Granted, if she had an iPad, she would just sketch directly on the iPad. Yeah. There you go. $45. No, I wish it was $45.
I'm on the website. It's the 12-inch. The 12-inch is $45.
Perfect. Even better. Excellent. I think it was listed
it's a different size, so it depends on
maybe.
The 10-inch is $33.
The ones with the instant digitization is $100. The other
that's
ones,
the one. Yes,
because the other ones are basically just you're drawing on it, and then you erase it, and that's the entire function of it.
Yeah.
What are those boogie boards or whatever the hell they call those?
Yeah.
Yep. Sharper
Basically.
image for 1,000 years.
It's kind of cool. And again, I think if they can get the app working or get this linkable to a PC, if you could link this sucker to a PC, then this is a replacement tablet for everybody for this price. I think it's awesome because you can still see the stuff on the screen and you can see it come up on this. It's kind of a cool. I was totally not expecting to get this device in the mail, and they emailed me on like Monday or Tuesday and said, "Hey, we got this product. Do you want to? And you do some art stuff. Do you want to review it?" I'm like, "Shit, fine, we'll go ahead. Yeah, whatever." So I get a DHL notice. So it's coming from China, and like a day later or 2 days later, it showed up. I'm like, "Wow, it was a fast flight from China." Definitely wasn't stuck on a boat in the Suez Canal. They flew this sucker over. But yeah, it's my first tablet. I'm surprised this is like that we got this, and my daughter's going to be using this thing for sure.
Yeah.
And
you gonna throw a written review up, or are you just gonna link to this conversation?
I might do. I'm actually going to do a written review and a link to this conversation. I'll do the written review showing you the sketches that I made.
Are you going to edit out the dick part?
No. Well, for kids, maybe I should actually. Maybe I'll do a review with my daughter on her YouTube page. That's not a bad idea. Anyways, my first sketch, bizarre. And if you don't want it to be called My First Sketch, I think the other version is called the Oaxis Sketchpad or whatever it's called. So, but yeah, kind of cool. Just wish that screen was a little brighter when you're writing it. And really, that's the only issue. That's the only major issue I have with the noticeable issue I have with the hardware. The quality build aside, but anyways, bizarre that we get shit like this. I'll take it. I like reviewing hardware. So, couple of games I want to talk about on the Switch. because that's what I've actually only really had a chance to play is a couple hours here and there. New Pokemon Snap. Been playing that. Anybody else playing that yet? You got it?
No.
I am.
JJ, you got it?
Yeah.
I am. I've got it like an hour or so into it. It's so chill. It's so nice and chill. I've never played a Pokemon Snap game before. This is my first time. My first Pokemon Snap, and yeah, I like just the laid back. It's like, here, go on this course and take a photo, and then upload the photo and get some likes. But go ahead, take another photo. Go on the course again, build up your photo taking skills, and that's it. And it's just like, it's nice and easy. I can see myself.
Pokemon Snap was like peak renting video games.
Yes, it really was.
I have. That was probably one of the very first games that have made me throw a controller. the original Pokemon Snap.
What, Charizard wouldn't look your way? Or...
Yeah, that just all those motherfuckers where it's like you play through the game and it's like, oh, I'm gonna take a picture, I'm gonna take a video, look at that thing, click, hey, oh man, this was great. And then you played a bunch of the game and it's like, yeah, but did you get the rare photos? It's like, what are you talking about, rare photos? It's like, oh, if you do this thing and do this and you turn the joystick to the left right here for 2.5 seconds, you can get the highest worth photo and do that over and over again, and finally you're just like, motherfucker.
And that's has that same shit.
It's exactly
television.
Yeah, it's the exact same fucking game too. It does
really
that
is.
exact
It really
shit, and it has the if you time your apple throws just right, you're gonna get them to look in just the right direction. So you can. I'm actually impressed. They didn't really fuck with the formula much from the original Pokemon Snap.
Yes,
which was the right choice.
Yeah, they didn't. Right. They neither dumbed it down nor tried to make it more than it was supposed to be. So, it's exactly what I wanted. I was a big fan of Pokemon Snap. That was just nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I said on Twitter, it's the exact kind of no calorie candy bullshit that I love.
Yep.
You just sit there and it's so low, there's no consequence to anything. It's just chill safari, taking photos, learning the secret language that this game is trying to teach you, so you know how to find the secret bullshit. And I do like the big thing that I like is that the stages have alternate versions. There's day, night.
Yes.
That's cool.
Throw glowing. There's the glowing shit. And,
yeah. They added just the right amount of stuff to make it
So that trailer right there just said that this game takes place in the Lentil region. Is that an actual region from any other game, or is this just here's some shit we made up?
Yeah.
No. And just like with every other modern Pokemon game, they have to have a sort of fake legendary situation where it's the Mega Max or whatever the kind of bullshit they got. This one has glowing Pokemon. They have some sort of bioluminescence that we haven't seen in any other region. So see if you can find the glowing Pokemon in every
It's
state.
the Galapagos Islands, where each island has a different Pokemon variation of the same thing. But it really is that sort of chilled out. I mean, I think the very first thing that I saw was that really kind of struck me as because I'm liking what I'm playing so far. Again, I'm only an hour in, but you're on this same track. You do the same track a couple times just to get your level up, and then kind of unlock a couple skills, and you're gonna miss shit, and you're like, fuck, I gotta go to this whole track all over again just to catch that one damn Pokemon. But the thing that I did see right away, which I thought was great, was there's this Bidoof sunning on this rock, and behind it there's this poor Magikarp just flopping to death in the corner, and you're like, oh fuck, this poor little guy is dying over there, and this Bidoof is just I'm gonna take I'm sunning for the guy with the camera. Then you kind of zip around to the Magikarp on the other side. I feel bad for this thing, but I don't.
Can you hit it with an apple and knock it back into the water?
No, well, you can do
summon a Gyarados. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's how those games work.
Is
there a fast forward mode, when you're going back? If you're going back to a map, you're I get this rare Pokemon, but it's right before the end of the track. Is there a fast forward button where you can get through the whole track very quickly just to get to that moment?
No,
there may be. I don't know. I haven't gotten that.
If
far
there
enough,
is, it's an unlockable that I haven't.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Just like anything Nintendo makes, it's do 3 hours worth of work, and then we'll unlock the save feature.
They like to hide the quality of life stuff in the end game.
There's a little glowing thing you're talking about. Exactly. Yep. But it's cool. It looks good. It's not like super high quality visuals. It kind of does look like a Wii U game. Like
it definitely looks better than Sword and Shield.
Yeah, it does. They're the big rumors. The things that people talked about was they were working on a game for the Wii U, which actually kind of could have worked cool because you have have that viewfinder and the tablet had a camera on it, so you can do some interesting stuff. But they kind of pull. I mean, you look at the grass there; doesn't look great.
Yeah.
But so I think they kind of took elements or aspects of that one and pulled in some of the models and shit from the Sword and Shield and here you go. It's it's Pokemon Snap. That's really all. You're on a scooter and you're taking pictures of Pokemon and they're sleeping, and that's it. That's the review.
Still a rail shooter at the end of the day.
Still on rails, literally a different type of shooter, but so Pokemon Snap.
And you can print out your photos. You just have to buy $100 smartphone printer.
Or you can just you can use the QR code method to send the stuff to your phone and then shoot it to CVS. Which
800 years later, you'll be able to print them wherever you want.
Yeah. I think I'm going to, that's a great idea. Just to kind of, because you always get those like discount codes for CVS and Walgreens photo and stuff, like 800 photographs for 25 cents total. I think I'm going to do like 1,000 photographs of like Magikarp just flopping to death and just print it, just send them out at CVS at like all these different poster sizes just to see what the folks there do. Because the great thing about CVS and Walgreens is you can send the print and then you don't have to go to pick it up or pay for it. You just send it out there, just photobomb it, and never go.
Thousands of photos of Magikarp flopping in different.
Yeah, whatever you do, I'm just letting you guys know.
Yeah.
Do
Make
not
a flip book for them.
do not do this at some random CVS in Missouri or Montana. Just don't do this. Don't do it. It's not a good idea to send photographs to Missouri, Montana, and not pick them up. No, but it's Pokemon Snap. There you go. There's another one more Nintendo game I've been playing. It is actually a demo for a game that my daughter was a huge fan of, and that's Miitopia. I'm loading it up right here. So my daughter loved Miitopia. It's kind of that really basic 3DS role playing game, sort of on. I don't want to say on rails. It is kind of on rails. It's like this auto action role playing game, but it. Let me pull up an image here. But the interesting thing about it is it sort of spun off from the
Street Pass.
The Street Pass game. Yeah, it really is sort of that next edition of that Street Pass game, which I loved. They kind of upgraded that a couple times, but my daughter loved the game on 3DS, and again, I really do think it's geared more towards kids. Again, this is because the graphics are really simplistic. The Miis are really kind of geared towards a lot of younger folks, but
it's geared towards two different breeds of people: kids and streamers. Because
it's kids and streamers. Yep.
Yeah, it's just like the Tamagotchi life was a lot of the same way, where it's like we're just
that's another one.
That
game has to make it through to Switch. I gotta think Tomodachi Life is being built up because that game was pretty awesome. Anyways, what's kind of cool with this is that you just move from left to right, you buy shit, beat up enemies, and go again. But the hook to this game is that it takes this guy right here has stolen all the faces of your friends, and your goal is to retrieve them. And so your friends' faces are both your fighting mates, and they're the NPCs that you run into and the enemies that you run into. And you can create what they've kind of improved in this one is because there's obviously no Street Pass, but you can create faces and characters and stuff, and then share them with folks all over the place, right? You can share them with a code. The update they've done this time, and I use my daughter, the super fan of Miitopia, because this is a demo. It's really the first area, so it's like 40 to 45 minutes. And if you're really crazy, you can knock an hour out if you're trying to just kind of unlock a bunch of some of the mess around with the character creator. But you can do some pretty crazy stuff with this character creator. I've seen like Minecraft faces. I've seen someone did the Fortnite $9 ticket.
I saw a Mona Lisa one.
Mona Lisa, the Genshin Impact stuff is all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's based on what they're calling makeup and wigs in the game, and that's something that the original Miitopia didn't have. And it's kind of interesting from that standpoint because you really can. It's in a weird way, it's one of the most robust character creators out there because it can be anything. It could be a rock, and I've seen like pies, and I've seen like all kinds of weird shit available. But it's super basic and simple. The other addition is that you can actually have a horse on your team, because why the fuck not? That could be one of your characters to go along with it. I think the other one was they have this thing called outings now, where a big part of the game was like the relationships you build up between your characters to make kind of like special move sets and stuff be stronger and all that kind of shit. But
like Persona is what you're saying.
Like Persona, yeah, they personified it. Yeah, but now in this, they've added these things called outings, which you can get these sort of outing tickets from doing quests and at the arcade and shit. But yeah, thanks. There you go, Aaron. Nice. Yep. Give me back my face. Give me back my face. But they've added the outings. You can use these tickets, and you can sort of build up relationships between.
You're saying that really weird. Is that?
I thought that was in the original Meetup, because I remember you used to be able to get tickets and go on like vacations with.
Yeah, but this is, and they had something like that. From what my daughter was telling me, is that it's way more like in depth.
They've gamified it now, as opposed.
They've gamified it more. Okay. Yeah. Because she said, they had some stuff in there initially because they had an arcade and all that kind of stuff, but now it's there's much more of an emphasis on it apparently. And she's like, I'm like, what else is new? Because I played the demo and that was basically it. It's like I said, 45 minutes. She said, well, that's all I know, Dad, until the game comes out next week. So I'll give you a full report after she gets the game next week. What that's like. That's all I've been playing. What about you? Let's go to Aaron. We haven't seen you in a couple weeks. What have you been playing?
Yeah, I mean, I told you guys earlier about the whole work thing, so I've been kind of off my game a little bit. I've been playing a little bit more PGA Tour.
Okay.
2K21. I never had that showdown with Jeff. He backed out like the coward he is.
I'm so glad that I'm not glad that it didn't happen, but I'm glad that I didn't miss it.
Yeah.
Same here.
I want to be there.
I don't know if you heard the story behind why he backed out. He was streaming the end of Balan Wonderworld. Yeah. The night before. And he was like, all right, I gotta go to bed. He was like 2 hours like past his like stop date or stop time, I think. It was seriously like 4 or 5 in the fucking morning, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. We got this golf thing in like 4 hours. So I was up. I woke up and I was just sitting here waiting, and then like an hour and a half past our start time, I got a tweet from him saying I overslept.
I Jeffed it.
Yeah, so that never happened. But I've been playing a little bit more. That game's still that's a really good golf game. I enjoy playing it quite a lot.
Yeah,
I'm a little bummed because they had it on sale on Switch and the eShop for like $19. I did not pick it up. I missed it by accident. I'm definitely gonna pick it up, and then it just stopped. It went back to like the $40, whatever it is.
It's definitely worth it. It gave me excuses.
$60.
It gave me excuses to taunt Jeff, like I did with this tweet, which you guys can look at because it makes me laugh every time I see it. Other than that, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14. I'm back on that.
Ooh,
nice.
All right.
They really made it easy because the last patch is out now. The last content patch and the expansion's been announced. They made it real easy to level up through that whole zone. I played that game for a while, like at the launch of this expansion they're on now, and it was a lot of work to even get a level, and then I jumped back in and I went from level 72 to level 80 in like 4.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, just jam through it. But
I need to get, I keep saying I'm gonna get into it. I'm terrified if I do get into it, I'll just forget about anything else.
You will.
Yeah.
Well, Dally, the good news is that you can spend additional money to skip much of the story. So.
You can spend, it's like $25 American to buy a thing that'll skip any one combat class from the start of the game to the end of the previous expansion the game's on. So you can get from you can just skip to level 70 and just play through the new expansion right now. You will lose a lot of time.
Yeah, it's definitely I've seen it recommended for skipping the first 2 expansions. Where the story is on the weaker side compared to like the next 3 expansions are just much higher.
You play the original game and it's like, the story's fine. There's a lot of bloat. And then you get into the second expansion, and like the first 90% of that expansion is very similar in tone to the original game. And then you get to like the last 10% of that when they started adding content after the original launch, and you're like, holy fuck, this balls to the wall. And then they never
haven't
stop.
gotten to that part yet. I'm still in the first like 20% of Heavensward, and so I haven't quite hit that spot yet. Actually, I'm stalled out right now. I have a code ready to resub when I have time again.
I remember when Heavensward was out, I was playing through it, and I was kind of starting almost to feel a little bit of that WoW burnout that means I still can't play WoW. I haven't touched that game since Wrath of the Lich King, and I still can't. Even the thought of subbing to WoW makes me kind of nauseous because I'm so burnt because I got so burnt out. And then I hit the end of Heavensward, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is the wildest shit I ever seen." And I just kept playing, and then they put the next expansion out, and I was just like, "Oh my god, are they really going for it? Oh my god,
I still got quite a few months to catch up before the next X pack." So
yeah, they tend to even with delays, they tend to launch their expansion sometime in the summer, like July-ish. So I'm fully expecting, or later, August-ish maybe. So I'm fully expecting that.
Even November.
Yeah, they might push it because of COVID. It's certainly not even pre-orderable yet because I checked, because that's where I am in life right now. But yeah, no. So I got my character to level 80, and then I've been puttering around a bit, and there's still so much game. Like, that's the worst part about Final Fantasy 14 is you'll hit the level cap well before you finish the story. And and you can't do the story missions at that point unless you're at the level cap or close to it. So it's
you can't side grade any of this stuff. Like, it's like, it's got a job system like
Final
Fantasies of old, but you can't level up any jobs that are low level because now you probably passed them up.
You passed
so
up.
Can't, yeah, so like you can't go back to them. The only way you can go back to them is by going to literally old content or lower level stuff and leveling up the other jobs that way.
What they added, I think at the end of Heavensward, or maybe in the start of the next expansion, they added this weird side grind system, and I can't fucking remember the name of it. They call it the Palace of the Dead was the first one. It's called a Deep Dungeon, and basically they just lock your character down to an imaginary level and give you abilities that unlock over time. And it's almost like old school RPGs where you're killing things and opening chests to get items that only work in the dungeon on that run. And you're with a group of people. And then your character in the dungeon levels up. And then as you finish the dungeon, that translates back into a bunch of experience for your actual character. So you can run those, and that lets you grind real quick. And I think there's one of those for everything up to the new expansion. There was Palace of the Dead, and then I think there was one called Tower of Heaven, and then I think there's another one for the next expansion. But yeah, so there are certainly ways to get your characters up, but they've tweaked the experience in Shadowbringers so much that all I did was the main story quests after like I did some of the side stuff, but I could go back and do all the side stuff that I skipped right now on some of my other job levels and probably still get those to 80 as well. The game's really addictive. you can level up a bard, the bard class, and you get to level 30, which will take you like 8 minutes, and then they just let you scribe music, and you can just sit and just fucking scribe actual music and then play that in the game, and they have to have warnings in there about copyright infringement because it's so like they just give you the actual notes. It's not like here's a button that makes a noise and here's one with a lighter noise. It's like, oh, let's do a 1/8 time C sharp, blah, blah, blah. It's like, there's people in there that are running around, playing
Wonderwall.
Yeah. You hear a lot of that one.
Definitely is that. You go to the right town, you're going to get Wonderwall.
You hear a lot of that. I'm trying to think of the Offspring. I hear a lot of Offspring.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
But,
Ska running wild in
Final Fantasy 14.
Hell yeah. Okay, now you've got my interest. Now I'm good.
But so that's what I've been playing. I've been playing PGA. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14.
Nice. Excellent. Okay, how about you, JJ? What have you been playing?
I checked out the other 2 games they added to that Blizzard collection.
Okay, yeah, all right.
RPM Racing's not good, and Lost Vikings 2 is okay. It's nice that they did it, but they didn't put the same level of care into those games that they did the other additions to that.
They were just like, hey, let's just throw a couple more games in there because we had these lying around.
Yeah, let's just plop a couple more ROMs in this set. We got this.
Hey, I found some ROMs in the disc.
I finally played the Resident Evil 3 remake.
Oh, interesting.
Finally.
Finally got around to that. I never liked Resident Evil 3 that much to begin with.
Okay.
So I bought it. I bought it, downloaded it, played it, and beat it all within like 3 sittings. So it's not a long game, and it's not a particularly good game. I mean, it's okay, but they cut a lot of shit out of Resident Evil 3. Like, they really made that game short. They really streamlined the whole storyline for that one. You can tell it was originally just going to be a Resident Evil 2 expansion, which, but yeah. Did you play it? Anyone play that Resident Evil 3 remake?
No. I've basically never played any of the Resident Evil.
I'm a giant coward.
I fucking love all of the Resident Evil games except for the ones that obviously aren't worth loving. But all the mainline ones I'm mostly a fan of. Even 6. I like 6. It's a weird game. It's a super weird game, but like it's got like 4 different games in it. It's like, here's the survival horror one, here's the action one, here's the like slow plotting one. Like, yeah, I like, yeah, but I'm like, you know, I'm ready for 8.
Well,
I'm just
what was the bad one? Was that 5?
5 was Five's a co-op one where it's with super beefy Chris. Yeah.
I played some of it. I did not beat it though.
Yeah, that one's definitely a weak one. It was big when it came out because it's a good game if you play it with somebody. Because co-op games tend to just be a little more fun when it's like you can ignore the bullshit just because you're having fun with your friend. But yeah, I'm just really excited for Resident Evil 8. I tore through the demo that popped up where you get the village and the castle demo that popped up. So
every now and I've got a bunch of friends that really like the Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
And we're talking like, you know, they'll go back and play them constantly. They can speed run like Resident Evil 4, like that, like they know all of them inside and out. And I can't go near those games. When I was a kid, one of my friends, I used to hang out with a slightly older crowd. Like I was the kid that was slightly out of his own age bracket with his friends. And at one point they were like, we're going to the movies. We're going. And so I was like, all right. I didn't ask what we were doing. We went to see the Resident Evil movie, and I got to the fucking scene. I got to the scene where Buddy gets cut by all the lasers, and that movie up to that point is just so incredibly tense. And then that happens, and I was like, nope, I'm going to hang out in the arcade. And then I didn't look sideways at Resident Evil up until one point. My goddamn friend was like, hey, you got to try this VR shit. I got the greatest game going on here. And it was fucking Resident Evil. Oh yeah. And I was just like, nope.
That's
nope.
My first playthrough Resident Evil 7 was on PSVR, and that was fucking stupid.
Yep.
That kind of burned me out.
But it's also terrifying.
So scary.
Oh, it's so fucking scary.
Because they also know like what they're doing too. Because the game's in first person, it's like, oh, here's just a fucking chainsaw coming right at you, huh? Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
That game's fucking terrifying in VR.
I'm aware.
Yeah. Fucking hell. But yeah, so 3 and 8, the show. I was playing MLB The Show.
The Show, yeah.
That's a good fucking
new one?
baseball. Yeah, the one it's on Game Pass.
Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah.
Were you Game Passing it? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would have bought it on the PS5, but it was there on Game Pass, so why the fuck not? No need to buy it at this point, and that's a good fucking game. It's ridiculously good looking and plays really well. And it's baseball, so it's a commitment. If you're gonna sit down and play a sports game, it tends to really suck up some of your time baseball wise. Mm-hmm. Football games tend to be a little more. A game of Madden tends to go a little faster. But yeah, boy, that's so weird to be playing that on an Xbox. Just sitting there with an Xbox controller in my hand, booting it up on the Series X, and just not paying a dime for it outside of what I paid for Ultimate already. I do like it's like please pick your favorite team, and it's like you're gonna make me pick the Seattle Mariners, and it's like I don't want to be associated with that team right now. Don't make me do this. But you do get to play AAA teams, which I like. I grew up living next door to the local, like the AAA baseball team's stadium.
Mm-hmm.
That is where I got my COVID vaccine.
Cool.
Is in the parking lot
nice.
of that stadium. But so that was just like, it's like $5 to go to a Tacoma Rainiers game and just like spend time there. So I have a much deeper association with the Rainiers and the Mariners. So to be able to play, like, I could just be like the Tacoma Rainiers versus the Boston Red Sox, and it's why not? Why the fuck not? I'm not doing good against them because I am a minor league team against the Boston Red Sox or the Yankees or whatever. But whatever. No, sports games. I've just been all in on sports games right now. Just in between that and NBA and Madden. I've just been going because again, all of those are on Game Pass, so it's like no barrier for entry on any of this, and I love playing those kinds of games. NBA 2K21 is a great game when you get to.
It's
when
an
you
awesome
don't have to pay.
game.
Yeah, especially when you don't have to pay anything for it.
I might try it. I might actually try MLB The Show.
I highly
on streaming. So
yeah, I had absolutely recommend it. It's a great game. Baseball, that'd be an interesting one to really test the latency of streaming out, huh?
Can I swing? That's a big one.
Yeah, that's the fielding. You got to get out there just in the right time.
True.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's
cool.
Sports and Resident Evil and Pokemon Snap.
Nice.
And I'm also reading the Tron storybook. So
nice. Yeah, we didn't talk about the Awada Asks. Which we were going to. I talked a little bit about it and how freaking charming that.
So he's such a sweet man.
We missed him.
His book's so
there
fun.
You go, more butt questing. How's it going? Good to see Dr. Jones.
He raises an incredible point. None of us have been sick recently, so we can't open the show with our horrible butt ailments.
I was, but not just a head cold, like I mentioned a few weeks back. But yeah, so but nothing like crazy.
Yeah, we'll do a video game book club sometime down.
Yeah, totally.
I'm looking at my books right now. I got the 8-Bit Apocalypse, the Missile Command History. I've got the.
I think it'd be a blast to go over some, and I mean, like I read a lot of the graphic novels. I got the Cyberpunk Trauma Team graphic novel, and we'll totally do that. Yeah, video game book club. I like that. We can do that once every couple weeks or so.
The Prince of Persia journal is really good.
Nice.
Just because it's a journal that was written the time while they were developing the game, so that's cool.
Oh, we can even set it up. Oh shit, I got ideas. Okay. We'll do that. We'll talk because all the 18 different podcasts that we do
it's okay. That's okay. We clearly gave up on the cryptid one, so we can start.
Which we got to get back to it. We had all these great ideas. Taylor, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Nier. Replicant.
Have you?
Nier.
I have.
I saved the best for last. Is what I did.
Well, I'm not going to spend too much time on it because
Zach is missing.
I've been promised extensive, in-depth conversation regarding Nier Replicant.
The type of conversation where I can actually log up. I can walk away for like a half hour.
You will probably want to.
I was watching you stream it the other night, which it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's right. So I'll tell you what. It's funny watching. That I've had been following the same people on Twitter for 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're either, like I mentioned a few weeks ago, they're typically either game journalists or the people that I met from JPEG, and that's literally the entirety of my Twitter following. There's quite a few people talking now with Nier Replicant coming out. And I think I mentioned it. I mentioned on this show, but it was a huge deal when Justin McElroy chose not to review Nier Replicant because he was also at the time the reviews editor for Joystick.
Yeah,
and so he essentially assigned himself this game. got to the fishing portion of the game, could not, he eventually did get it.
Yeah.
But it took him over an hour to be able to even catch the fish, and so he literally stopped it and said that I will not be reviewing this game. And I distinctly remember that.
Everyone, and
yeah.
like the way marker is right there. You're just ignoring it completely.
Yeah, so there's technically a system where like you get better, like there's a fishing skill level, and you increase that by doing these, like you fish a bunch for this dude who wants you to fish, and if you try and fish at certain locations using certain lures or bait, it determines which fish try and show up. And if you're trying to, catch a fish that is too high or like it's past what your current fishing skill is at, it's like impossible to do it. And it's literally what he did for an hour. And so I still remember he posted it. There was a YouTube video of him doing it. And he catches in the game. He catches a sea bream, which was like, fishing level 3. Like if you did the fishing side quest, it's the third one that it makes you do, and it's just. But anyway, it's funny. Nier is a good game.
He influenced a generation of people to be predisposed to not like those games, to the point where when Automata came out, people were shocked it didn't suck.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I'll tell you what. He's not the Yoko Taro is like, yo, I don't really know why they're making Nier Replicant. I'm pretty sure that Nier Automata was a fluke. That was Yoko Taro. So the dude
that was the dude saying it. Literally.
Yeah, that's the man who made Drakengard and Nier Automata was like, yo, I'm pretty sure like Automata was just a fluke. I just keep making the same game, and for some reason people like this one. But I don't know. It's definitely good. But it's definitely also aged, right? It's you can see the parts that made Automata a good game.
It's definitely still an Xbox 360 RPG.
Yeah. Well, it's the RPG parts of it are like honestly pretty light. Like, you gain experience and you gain level, but like it's, I get. I mean, yes, it is. You could not. I feel like you could, in some ways, not level up and still like do fine, just because it is so much of an action oriented role playing game. It's about its combos, it's about its weapons, and that kind of stuff. So I feel like my level is like the least important part of my character overall. There's some other mechanics to it. They use words. There's magic and stuff.
They use words sometimes.
Well, so like there's a character that's a grimoire, and you can see in the video there's like the book hanging around you. So like half of the aesthetic of the game is like book driven. So like when your start menu is a tome, it's a book, and so there are words, like words of power, they call or verses. That you can attach to your weapon and to your magic, and it can have varying effects of increasing strength, increasing magic power, increasing like all bunch of stuff like that. So that's what I mean by words. But yeah, it's a really dreary game about a world that is literally dying, and that's kind of the theme of the whole thing.
Which ending is the one that leads into Nier Automata?
I actually don't know. I have not finished any of the endings yet, because I made the mistake of deciding that I was going to do all of the side quests of it's broken up into 2 parts, and I made the mistake of deciding I was going to do all of the side quests in part 1. So it took me a while, and so I'm a little behind. But yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that it, unlike what Drakengard did, I bet you that pretty much all of them lead to it, because this takes place in the year like 3000 something or other, right? And then Nier Automata takes a place in the year 11,400 or something. It's like unlike Drakengard, where I mean, I think that I can spoil the game from 2002, right? Is that when Drakengard came out?
Something like that, yeah.
Where you have to do a whole bunch of shit, and the secret ending is you teleport this weird, abominable monster thing to 2002 Tokyo, and that's what over time leads to the events of Nier. Once you get to a time gap of like 8,000 years, I don't think it matters anymore. It's you're not teleporting to universes. It's just that humanity dies out. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's a good game. Like in terms of like action games, like multiple weapons combos, it like that part always feels good. And Nier Automata takes it to another level. This doesn't have quite the same. It's still philosophical. It's not, in my opinion, quite as good as Automata, but that's why I got a sequel. At least that's what I'll say about it. And we'll leave the deep bits for some other.
Are you guys fucking with the mobile game?
Not yet.
I will when it comes out.
It's supposed to come out soon, right?
It came out. It came out in February.
What?
It's called
for
Nier.
You guys.
It's called Nier Reincarnation. Came out Android, iOS, February 2021.
Am I dumb?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe it's Japan only.
I think it is.
It is.
Yeah, okay. I was I felt like a complete moron. I'm not.
No, I only asked because I had Twitter up and fucking there were people talking to like Yoko Taro and shit about the Nier Reincarnation. I was like, is he calling the thing something else? No, I guess he's talking about something else. Oh, it's a mobile game.
In his Kermit the Frog avatar.
Yeah, I don't have it either.
He has Kermit the Frog avatar. It's so good.
God bless him.
That man is really strange.
I'd love to get him, Suda, Swery, just get a bunch of those dudes all together and be like, all right, how high is everybody?
Can we have some, please?
Yes, and can we
get Kojima in there and just let him go?
Yeah, Kojima, yeah. Oh, good times. But
anyway, that's literally all I've had time for, unfortunately. That's I've been playing more. I've scattered in some Monster Hunter.
Nice, yeah.
So,
have you tried any of the Apex hunts or the newer stuff?
No, I'm a baby. I'm Hunter rank 5. I'm basically doing like all solo play. So
sure, that's how I'm playing too. Yeah,
a lot of my stuff is restricted, and a lot of the hunts and the high rank hunts take a really long ass time.
Yes.
But that's the way it's got to be. A lot of the multiplayer stuff, I can't necessarily. This is like one of the longest stretch of time that I've made available in recent memory. So
excellent.
But yeah, no, that's it. That is it.
That's it for you, and that's it for us. Any closing comments? Any closing remarks, everybody? Anything you're sorry for?
I'm still never sorry.
Never sorry. No regrets.
No regret, baby.
No regrets.
Nothing that I can say on air.
All right. With that, I'll let you guys go. I'll let all our wonderful viewers and listeners go on this beautiful Sunday. I like these. Sunday night shows are kind of interesting because nobody's out. Everybody's home. So we have a captured audience of the one viewer we had. We had a captured audience of viewers, and there's no wrestling events going on. TV is done for the year Sundays. So yeah, maybe we'll do a couple more of these. We'll see. That's it. We'll sign off now. Again, you can find us at SideQuesting, SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV on Twitch, SideQuesting on YouTube. Find me. Look at you've seen our names at Dolly Domowski, at T Bliss, Taylor Bliss. At the _double score. And then Aaron is pointing to Scratty Bones. Gentlemen, thank you for spending time on this beautiful Sunday evening, this hour and a half of fun.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
Good times. All right. With that, we'll see you all in the next episode. Make sure you guys go home and do your sketching on your MySketch tablets.
I'm going to buy a bunch.
There you go. For the kids. See you, everybody. Bye.